frivolous nonsense.
Right.
Gossip. They're, you know, I
Very
know.
nice.
I actually know William and Harry. They've come to about 2 or 3 of my gigs. You know,
Yeah.
they're not, but no, it's just no.
Well, when you go on the Golden Globes, a lot of time you are politically incorrect and hilarious, of course.
I think that, you know, I think that BBC are still a bit stuffy because they get complaints and, you know, they're a sort of government body, so they fear...
Last year, big backlash, wasn't there? Big backlash. People going, you can't say that. You can't.
Ricky Gervais walks into a room full of celebrities and says, "You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world." Ouch. But why the collective gasp? Let's make a deal. If you smiled, learned something, or had an aha moment, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Don't leave me hanging. Did you hit it? Cool, thanks. Now let's dive back in. Is it because he's wrong, or because he's right and they know it? Get ready for a roller coaster ride through the world of celebrity hypocrisy and the comedian who's calling it out. Picture this. Ricky Gervais standing in front of a room full of Hollywood's elite, dropping truth bombs like they're going out of style. At the Golden Globes, he hit 'em with this zinger. Apple roared into the TV game with The Morning Show, a superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China.
Well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right.
No, it's the old-fashioned with it. And now the old-fashioned, they go like, oh, they want to use our toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? For ladies.
I think that, you know, I think that BBC are still a bit stuffy because they get complaints and, you know, they're a sort of government body, so they fear... I mean, it's on every paper all the time. My news show, it's like, oh, no, I'm not interested at all.
Boom, you could hear the celeb's designer pearls hitting the floor. But here's the thing, Gervais wasn't just going for laughs. He was shining a spotlight on the massive disconnect between what these stars preach and how they actually live. Think about it. These A-listers are all about being woke and fighting for social justice, as long as it doesn't mess with their bottom line. They'll make impassioned speeches about climate change, then hop on private jets. They'll talk about workers' rights, then cash checks from companies with questionable labor practices. Take Apple, for example. They're pumping out shows about dignity and morality, but their products are made in factories where workers are treated like, well, not great. And don't even get me started on Amazon. They're all about progressive content, but warehouse workers are peeing in bottles to meet quotas. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if we flipped the script? Imagine if these celebs had to work real jobs for a week. Picture George Clooney trying to make his quota in an Amazon warehouse. Or Meryl Streep assembling iPhones for 12 hours a day.
Offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? I'm not excited about it. Listen, I've got nothing against the royal family, but I don't like any of that sort of... It's just, no.
Well, when you go on the Golden Globes, a lot of time you are politically incorrect and hilarious, of course.
And sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that, but... You know, you can't legislate against stupidity, otherwise you'll be doing nothing, so...
Think they'd still be preaching from their ivory towers? The hard truth is, most of these celebrities are completely disconnected from the real world. They live in a bubble of wealth and privilege, surrounded by yes men and adoring fans. They don't know what it's like to struggle to pay rent or worry about healthcare costs. And that's why Gervais's words hit so hard. He's not just calling out hypocrisy, he's exposing a fundamental problem in our culture. We've given these people a platform to lecture us, when they have no idea what life is actually like for most people. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about celebrity hypocrisy. It's about something even bigger, free speech. Because when we start policing what comedians can say, when we try to silence voices that make us uncomfortable, we're heading down a dangerous path. And that's exactly what Gervais is fighting against. Remember when comedy used to push boundaries? Now it's tiptoeing around them. Comedians are caught between self-censorship and career suicide. But Ricky Gervais, he's not having any of it. He's got a message for the easily offended, and it's gonna ruffle some feathers. Rob Schneider dropped a bombshell recently. Universities, the supposed bastions of free thought, now have free speech zones. Yeah, you heard that right. Special areas where you're allowed to speak freely. What's next? Designated automated thinking spots? It's not just colleges. The whole comedy world's turned into a minefield. One wrong joke and boom, your career's toast. Comedians are scared to death. They're watering down their acts, playing it safe. But here's the thing, and when comedy gets too safe, it stops being funny. Gervais isn't buying into this nonsense. He's got a simple message. Just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right.
Right. Frivolous nonsense.
Right.
Gossip. You know,
Very nice.
I actually know William and Harry. They've come to about 2 or 3 of my gigs. You know,
Yeah.
but no,
I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. They were...
found out my crime was that I dead named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, you know, before a day after the Golden Globes. You know, so you can't second-guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues.
Boom. Think about that for a sec. Being offended is just a feeling. And feelings? They're personal. Some people get offended by equality, for crying out loud. Then there's this whole punch up, not down debate in comedy. Gervais calls bull on that too. He says sometimes you gotta punch down, like if you're fighting a disabled toddler. His words, not mine. The point is, comedy shouldn't have rules about who you can and can't make fun of. But here's the million-dollar question. What happens when we can't laugh at ourselves anymore? When every joke needs a trigger warning, we lose something important. Comedy's not just about laughs. It's how we deal with serious stuff without going crazy. Gervais thinks being offended isn't a big deal. He even invited people to insult him on Twitter once. Know what happened? He got backlash for fat-shaming himself. You can't make this stuff up. This isn't just about Hollywood anymore. This woke culture is spreading everywhere. People are looking to be offended. They're more upset about jokes about serious issues than the issues themselves. Gervais asks, what are you actually doing to help? Ouch, that's gonna leave a mark. So next time you hear a joke that makes you wince, ask yourself, is it really that bad? Or are you just looking for something to be mad about?
Offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? Am I excited about the royal family?
Yeah.
No.
No, the royal wedding.
Last year, big backlash, wasn't there? Big backlash. People going, you can't say that. You can't. I mean, the old-fashioned ones, you know, the old-fashioned women. Oh, God, you know, the ones with wombs.
Cause in a world full of real problems, maybe we could all use a good laugh. So here's the thing about being offended. It's not the end of the world. Gervais gets it. He's saying we can laugh and be uncomfortable at the same time. It's not about never feeling offended. It's about how we deal with it. Next time something rubs you the wrong way, take a second. Ask yourself why it bothers you. Is it really that bad? Or are you just looking for something to be mad about? Maybe, just maybe, there's something to learn there. In this world of fake outrage and cancel culture, real humor is like a breath of fresh air. It cuts through all the BS. It makes us think. It makes us uncomfortable. And yeah, sometimes it offends us, but that's okay. Because at the end of the day, being a little offended is way better than living in a world where no one can say anything real.